Morning guys, I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. And what I thought we'd do today, continuing in our series In the Shadow of Nessmuk, I thought we would discuss a couple of what I would call micro kits, or kits inside your main kit. And Nessmuk described a pouch that he wore around his neck and off to the side, a small ditty bag of sorts that was filled with all sorts of items, including fishing items. And Nessmuk was a big fisherman. For me, in my Shadow of Nessmuk mentality, I can carry dedicated items like fishing items or hunting implements like a gun and extra shells different places within my pack and not have to put them in a ditty bag scenario. What I do have is I have 3 micro kits inside this bag that are fairly readily accessed from the outside of the pack. One of them being a ditty bag, one of them being a quick hygiene kit, something that would be used for going to the bathroom in the woods, and then a separate kit altogether for personal hygiene. But all of them are fairly readily accessible on the outside of my pack. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of discuss those 3 micro kits with you today. Stay with me. Okay, so as we've discussed already in video past, I've kind of chosen or went with, after testing a couple different packs, for now, the Helicon Summit. And the Helicon Summit pack is nice because it has that outside meshy, stretchy kind of pocket that you can grab stuff in that you need on the trail. You can put stuff in there that's readily accessible, and then you have some outer pockets on the side, but you also have a pocket at the top here, a zip pocket, that's standalone from the inside, or accessing the direct inside, as it were, from this roll down. And then you also have this zip here that goes all the way down the front to access the pack this direction if you want to. So what I've done is I've utilized this top pocket here and the bottom of this pouch for the things that I may readily need to get at. And the things that are up here are things I may need to get at really quickly while I'm on the trail. The things that are in my ditty bag, which is down at the bottom here, I can get at if I have to by removing just a couple items or reaching down in there on the side, but they're not items that I would need as readily access to as what's in the top. So let's go over them one at a time real quick. And when we unzip this compartment, the way this works is you have a pocket in here that drops down inside this bucket compartment that's separated from everything else. And I've got a few things in the top of this. I have my spare piece of utility cord, and this is the one I used to hang my pack on a tree when I first get to camp. And then I have a bag of tent stakes, which generally, the reason I have the tent stakes here, number one, is to grab the first stake to hang my pack from a tree. And then I can put the stake bag in my pocket and really have them available while I'm setting up a tarp or while I'm setting up my duplex tent, which means these are one of the first things I'm going to need to get to at camp. Now, I have 2 small micro kits in here in this pouch. One of them's in like a ripstop and the other one's in more of a Z-Pack style Cuban fiber, okay? And this one here would be, you know, for lack of a better term, the old crapper kit. And this one here would be more of a personal hygiene. So we'll look at both of those. And then in the front of this, I've got my Tyvek, which is something I'd grab as soon as I got to camp. I have my map tools, which is something I may need to get to readily on the trail. I have a prototype for a titanium grill top that I've been working with. And then I have a filtration kit in here as well. Then at the bottom of that is, of course, the ditty bag, which we're going to talk about also in this video as one of those 3 micro kits. We'll talk about some of these other things later down the line, navigation kit, water hydration, all those types of things, or water disinfection. We'll talk about all those things as we go. So today we're going to talk about these 3 micro kits. So I figured the easiest thing to do here would just be to roll a piece of Tyvek out and get the camera up above everything where you can see. So quick, easy, this is a no-brainer. This is your trail kit for taking a crap, okay? You can carry toilet paper if you wanted to. I prefer wet wipes. I like to carry the biodegradable wet wipes. These are not the biodegradable type. I'm out of them right now. I'll replace this when I can. And then I carry the old Deuce of Spades trowel. And this trowel is a pretty strong titanium trowel that works really good at digging holes for digging cat holes really quickly. But you can also split a stick and attach this to a larger stick and use it for a larger shovel device if you needed to around camp to dig a trench around your tent in the rain, or to dig a Dakota type fire hole, or dig a fire pit down into the ground a little bit if you wanted to. So it's a pretty good tool to have, and it's perfect for digging cat holes in the woods. So that makes a really simple and lightweight kit. And again, remember that we're trying to keep our kit weight down with all of this stuff. So the more this stuff weighs, obviously the more our kit weighs. And we're not trying to go ultralight crazy here, but we have set ourselves with a goal of about a 20-pound weight or 25-pound weight with everything included. And I'm about to that point now, so that's good. Okay. The next kit that I had beside that in that top pocket was just an actual hygiene kit. Really simple kit. It has a titanium comb, a microfiber towel, a bottle of Bonner's biodegradable soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, nail clippers, Bag Balm anti-chafing, and Burt's Bees lip balm. Really, really simple kit, really small container that it all fits into. It works really, really well for this, okay? This gives you about everything you need in the short term, especially, to take care of your hygiene on the trail and in a hunting camp, okay? It's a very simplistic kit. It's based very much after an ultralight thru hiker's kit, which some of this kit is for sure. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But I think from what I've found so far, doing a few overnighters with this type kit, this is really all you need. I mean, this really takes care of everything, and you can always replenish this on the turnaround because you're not planning on staying out there forever. You're only planning on staying out there temporarily. This bag is probably 5 inches by probably 5 by 5 or 4.5 by 4.5, something like that. Holds everything just fine. Okay, so that's the two kits that were in the top of that pouch with stakes on the top and then my utility rope, and those fit in the very top pocket of this pack very, very easily. So you open this up. Basically, I slide the hygiene kit in one side. I slide the toilet kit in the other side, just like that. Push them down. I put the stakes right there in the front and on top where I can get to them really easily. And then my utility rope, which is what I'm always going to try to get to first. And it always gives me that utility rope in an emergency right where I can get to it. And then just zip that dude up. And everything's right in the top of my pack where I can get to it easily. All right? Okay. The next thing I want to discuss is the all-important Ditty Bag. And again, this is something that George Washington Sears referred to in his book, Camping and Woodcraft. He carried his Ditty Bag on kind of a shoulder harness type thing, like a pouch, a bag, almost like a shot pouch type configuration. But I chose to put mine in a small bag inside my backpack. Now, I would carry items on my person that are emergency type items. I always have my belt knife. I always have an SAK. I always have my cigarette lighter, and I always have a ferrocerium rod, generally in my pockets all the time. The beauty of the Ditty Bag is it allows you not to overstuff your pockets with lots of unnecessary items that you might need on the fly, but you might not. And stuffing your pockets with all these things makes it uncomfortable to sit or lay down. It also makes it difficult to find them sometimes if you have multiple items in one pocket. So putting all of these items into one single pouch means that you only have one place to look when you need to get those items. So let's go through this real quick, all right? Again, some of this stuff is going to be very reminiscent of an ultralight hiker. Some of it's going to be more reminiscent of what a woodsman might carry. So the first thing I have in here is bug dope. And this is really good in the summertime in Ohio. This is Woodsman brand. It's good for mosquitoes, gnats, and things like that. I have a microfiber towel in here that just stuffs into a little cocoon for wiping the camera off on my iPhone. I have to carry electronic things with me and things to support electronics, obviously, because I am filming, taking photographs and filming on the trail. But it doesn't have to be extravagant. I've got that. I have a small pouch with a power brick, the 10,000 milliamp Anchor power brick, and the cables for charging the brick and the phone. Works really, really well for that. A ferrocerium rod on a neck cord with a dedicated striker. Not because I think I need the dedicated striker, because I always have either to saw my SAK or my belt knife, which is a carbon steel Garberg with a 90-degree spine. But it doesn't weigh very much to have that on there. So it just gives you that security of I'm always going to have something to strike this ferrocerium rod with that's not going to take up a lot of room. I have the SAK that we talked about in videos past, which is the Hunter. The beauty of this is it has lots of things on it that can be used for first aid and hygiene as well. And I think we talked about that in another video. I have a compass, a Silva pocket compass, a lighter wrapped in duct tape, a small package of ibuprofen painkillers, Aquamira water tabs, a notebook and a high visibility pen, an extra water bottle cap only for back flushing my Sawyer. We'll talk about that in another video as well. Then I have a small repair and first aid bag here. It doesn't have a whole lot in it. It's got a couple of different patches in it for Cuban fiber, a couple of different tenacious tape patches. It has some Luco tape and some duct tape wrapped around a stick, a Z-Pax sewing kit that already has the needle and thread attached, an extra battery for my headlamp, and some alcohol rubs or alcohol wipes here. Again, back to cleaning the lenses on my camera is the main reason for that. Okay, so it's not a really extensive kit. It's got an extra clip in it here for my hammock underquilt in case I break one when I'm hammocking, because I change up the shelter system, but I don't change up this. So whether I'm using a hammock system, a ground system, or the duplex tent, this kit will suffice for all of that. And again, all of that fits really easily into this small pouch. That fits very easily in the bottom of the outside of that pack, which makes it very easy to get to when I need to. But again, you have a lot of loose, small items here that if you were to stuff these in pockets and things like that, and you were trying to look for them, it might be like, oh man, where did I put that? With this, you have that covered because you know exactly where everything's at all the time. Again, this rides right at the base of this outer mesh pocket. I have a couple stiff items that go in here, like my map kit and my grill. My water disinfection kit, which we'll talk about in another video, goes straight down the middle of that. And then my Z-Pax or my Z seat goes here, my Tyvek roll here, and I'm ready to get to whatever I need to on the fly. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you joining me out here today for another video in our series In the Shadow of Nessmuk. I wanted to show you a couple of the smaller kits inside this backpack that we're building. And remember that we're mixing ultralight technology, which is what Nessmuk was all about, with modern materials, but we're also staying along those same lines of the 10 C's of survivability. And if you look at this kit, those 10 C's are covered within this kit. They may not be exactly what you're used to seeing, but they're all in there. And that is the quantification, I think, of how well this 10 C's concept works. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.